Officer Taylor gives chase. Melvin drops what appears to be a gun. You can't tell when the officer shoots Melvin or what he saw because he wasn't wearing a body camera.
For an officer to be chasing me outside and I didn't do nothing, like I didn't steal, I didn't...
Off-the-clock officers can still cost you, the taxpayer.
Before we get started, I would like to thank YouGov for sponsoring this video. If you ever wonder if your thoughts and your opinions matter, YouGov proves that they do. So much so that they'll pay you to take their surveys. YouGov is a platform that allows you to take online surveys to earn cash and gift cards, including from Amazon. The process is extremely easy, which allows you to take these surveys anywhere. I often take these surveys before bed, waiting in line, and even between watching YouTube videos. These surveys range from a number of different topics, from business to politics to brands and products. I love being able to give my opinion, especially if I'm getting paid for it. There are some really interesting topics on YouGov right now, and I'm definitely going to join in and give my opinion. I'm actually using YouGov to sponsor my next Daddy Kids Day out with my little ones. If you want to earn some extra cash, click the link below, go over to YouGov, register. It's an extremely easy process, and start taking surveys today and get paid for it. Again, I want to thank YouGov for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the program. Imagine just going to a grocery store, or any store for that matter, and there you see an off-duty police officer. You're minding your own business, but you end up being shot by that same off-duty police officer. That's what we're about to see. Welcome back to We the People University. My name is Abaya Israel, former police officer, former sheriff's deputy. So let's be honest, there are several reasons why police officers do not like their job. And one of those several reasons is simply the pay. Now, we've seen videos where we've seen police officers who make a lot of money. But in many situations across the country, police officers really don't make a lot of money. You think I'm kidding? Just take a look at the pay grades. They're like $40,000 per year. And to be honest, that's not a lot of money for the job. So what you find is police officers taking on what some call extra jobs or part-time jobs or security gigs. Why? To make extra money. But during these jobs, the police officers are working off duty. And a lot of times, in many different cases, we see it go really bad. That's what we're about to see in this video. I'm not going to say too much right now. Jump into this. We'll talk more about it later.
And we start with that exclusive look at a Cleveland police officer moonlighting as a security guard for Giant Eagle, shooting a man in the store parking lot. Melvin Robertson's lawyers say this surveillance video sheds new light on what happened that evening. Robertson is now suing the city and the grocery chain. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rob Powers. Courtney has this night off. The shooting and the lawsuit that was just filed today exposed problems with a popular policing practice. News 5 investigator Sarah Buddison's been following through on this story since it happened in 2021, and tonight she reveals how off-the-clock officers can still cost you, the taxpayer. Off-the-clock officers can still cost you, the taxpayer.
Whether you're shopping, spending a night out, or catching a Cavs game, you'll probably spot a Cleveland cop moonlighting to make extra money.
It seems like a win-win. Cops make extra cash and businesses buy better security. But the popular practice is far from perfect. The reason? Taxpayers like you are left on the hook even when they're off the clock.
Went through my pelvic bone and up into my stomach.
Take what happened to Melvin Robertson.
I can't walk the same no more. I can't run the same no more. I'm just taking it day for day ever since then just to try to heal and get better.
Surveillance video provided by his attorney shows Cleveland patrolman Robert Taylor working security for Giant Eagle. You see Taylor confront Melvin in the parking lot. Melvin runs. Officer Taylor gives chase. Melvin drops what appears to be a gun. You can't tell when the officer shoots Melvin or what he saw because he wasn't wearing a body camera.
For an officer to be chasing me outside and I didn't do nothing, like I didn't steal, I didn't cause no threat, I didn't pull nothing on nobody, hit nobody with nothing.
In this lawsuit he filed today, Melvin's not only suing the supermarket, he's suing Cleveland too. Police say Melvin threatened Taylor. His attorney says that never happened.
Melvin did not pose a threat to the officer, did not pose a threat to anybody else, and it was just a reckless and unjustified use of deadly force.
Melvin's lawsuit is not the first time Cleveland taxpayers could pay for what a police officer did off duty. In 2018, Sergeant Dean Grazioli was working security for Corner Alley on the city's east side when he shot and killed Thomas Yatsko. Yatsko's family sued Corner Alley and Cleveland. The city settled for $750,000.
Should taxpayers have been on the hook?
If the officer was engaged in a police function, the answer might be yes.
University of South Carolina law professor Seth Stoughton completed the only wide-ranging study of moonlighting among U.S. law enforcement officers.
There is some potential for the expenditure of public funds in a way that we don't always think about.
To prevent problems, Cleveland keeps tabs on moonlighting. It limits how many hours officers can work off duty, where they can work, including a ban on strip clubs, and requires approval from police brass.
I'm not against the idea of off-duty employment. Just think it has to be regulated and managed very intentionally.
Cleveland also disciplines officers who make mistakes while moonlighting. We found 20 got in trouble over a 2-year period, including Patrolman Daniel Zagaria. Records show he called out sick and then worked a Cleveland baseball game. Patrolman Mark Ashbrook got caught drinking alcohol in uniform working off duty at a church festival. And then there's Commander Michael Butler. He got demoted for evading taxes. Records say he failed to declare thousands of dollars he made working for a private security company.
I would never want to be in a situation where we can't tell someone, a city employee, that they can't work outside employment.
So even with the risks, veteran Councilman Mike Polensek supports letting Cleveland cops work other jobs.
Everybody's circumstance is different. They might have kids in college. They might be taking care of other family members. I don't know their personal circumstances, nor do you.
But Polensek also says what happens when officers moonlight should be less murky. Right now, cops have to bring their badge and gun, but not their body cameras.
And when we're talking about whether an officer or a city may be liable for what could be a multi-million-dollar judgment, that couple of minutes of video footage can be very valuable indeed.
We also found, even after getting caught behaving badly, officers were allowed to keep their second jobs.
It shouldn't be a right to get the ability to have another job outside of being a City of Cleveland police officer.
Remember Robert Taylor? The lawsuit alleges he's repeatedly used deadly force, including killing a 16-year-old boy. Internal Affairs found that shooting was justified.
I don't know why this guy's still in the department.
Even after he shot Melvin, records show he was still given the okay to keep working at Giant Eagle.
That's crazy right there because I didn't even know that, and that just made me feel even more unsafe in this world.
We wanted to talk to city officials and police brass for this report. For weeks, no one has responded to my request to talk about moonlighting. When I asked about this lawsuit today, the city said it had not received a copy of the lawsuit yet and does not comment on pending litigation.
So it's an ongoing problem. As we see, cops really don't expect you to exercise your Second Amendment right. So if you have a gun to a police officer, it's automatically deemed a threat. And when they feel threatened, they will shoot, as we saw in this video. As we the people, we must normalize exercising our rights, whether it be the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. We need to exercise all of our rights, because until we do, things like this will continue to happen. Make sure you know your rights. And with that being said, We the People University, signing off. Thank you for joining We the People University. If you have a video you would like us to share, please click the link in the video description. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so that you may be notified when we publish future videos. Also, don't forget to download Cancel Tyranny version 2 and learn your basic rights when there is no time to Google. Available now on Apple and Android. And if you ever wondered about what really happens behind the scenes within the police department, check out my other channel titled Coptails 236 to hear all of my stories about my time and experience while working as a cop. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you for your support.